Hi, I'm Joe Farinaccio, and here's a quick look at the Sony Vegas Movie Studio interface. Alright, let's become familiar with our Sony Vegas interface. One great thing about Sony Vegas is that no matter which version you happen to be using, whether it's a movie studio version or even a pro version, the interface always remains the same. These tutorials, for example, are taking place, as you can see in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, in Vegas Movie Studio Platinum version number 9. But if you have an older version or even a newer version of Vegas, everything you're going to learn in these tutorials should apply. The first thing you generally see when you open up Sony Vegas is this new project window. The new project window allows you to name a new project in this area here. It also shows you the default folder path that your project is going to be saved in. If you don't want to save your project in the folder listed in the default path here, simply click the Browse tab and an Explorer window will pop open, and you can then navigate to any folder on your PC's hard drive and choose it in order to store your video project in there. I'm going to close out this window for now. We're also going to close out the new project window. The next thing we're going to look at here is our main project window. The project window contains 6 tabs. Each tab opens up a different area in the project window in order to give you access to different tools that you're going to use to build your videos. The first tab, as you can see here, is the Explorer, and it basically gives you access to Windows Explorer so that you can navigate to various parts of your hard drive in order to locate media that you want to import into your project. The next tab down here is the Trimmer tab. The Trimmer is a tool in Sony Vegas that you can use to take media that you've imported into your project and then shave off or trim off the portions that you don't want and keep just the ones you do want. We'll take an extended look at the Trimmer as we talk more about editing videos later on. The next tab here is the Project Media tab. When you click on Project Media, you're going to be able to look inside this window and see the various types of media that have been imported into your project already. Sony Vegas is going to allow you to take image files and video files and audio files in different formats and collect them here in the project media area in order to use them to build your videos. We'll look at how to import media in just a little bit. The next tab here is the Transitions tab. The Transitions area gives you access to a large number of ways to move from scene to scene in videos. We'll look at some of the different transitions that are available to you when we get on into editing and building some videos. The next tab down here is Video Effects. This tool gives you access to a huge number of special effects that are available to you when building videos. We'll look at some of the more prominent ones later on. The next tab down here is Media Generators. This is an area that you're going to be able to go into in order to generate either text or color for your videos. Now let's look at some other features of our interface. Up here in this area is the mixer. The mixer is going to allow you to monitor the levels of audio that are going into your video as it's being created. And over here is the preview window. The preview screen here is where you're going to be able to see your videos being created in real time. And down here is the timeline. The timeline is the main working area in Sony Vegas. This is where you're going to create tracks and place the media that you've imported into any given project onto and then construct your videos. You'll then be able to play videos or sections of videos on the timeline and view those sections up here in the preview window. Down here on the timeline, you're going to note this little tool here. It's called the playhead. And when you move the playhead back and forth, you can see right here that these numbers are going to record the location of the playhead on the timeline. This right here indicates 4 seconds into the timeline. You can see that noted by the fact that the playhead is on the 4th notch right now. 26 indicates the number of frames. Well, what does that mean exactly? Just remember that when you're building an NTSC video, which is basically the type of video format used in America, there are going to be 30 frames per second. So if we move the playhead just a little bit here, you're going to see that we're at just about 5 seconds there. 5 seconds, it moves from 4:29 to the 5th second, and 15 frames in is 5.5 seconds. So we have frames recorded here, 30 frames per second, 15 frames per half second. Then we have seconds recorded here, then minutes, and so on and so forth. And you can see that the numbers will adjust according to the playhead's position. Alright, now, one thing you'll notice about the interface is that each area is very flexible. Each section has its own frame, and you can move these frames up or down, inside or out, move them around in order to get a better view of any portion. You can even temporarily close out certain portions of the interface. For example, if you want to get rid of the mixer here, you can simply click on the close button here. If you want to get rid of the preview for the moment, you can close it out. If you want to expand your timeline and get a better view of it, you can raise it up like this. And if you want to make the timeline larger, you can even do that. For example, if you see these notches down here, each notch represents seconds here on the timeline. You can left click on the timeline and use the scroll bar on your mouse to expand the timeline like that. You can see these notches are now bigger, which means you now have an expanded view of the seconds. You can accomplish the same thing down here. You can zoom in the timeline, you can zoom out by clicking on these buttons. And if you want to bring back the mixer or preview window, you can simply go up here, up top to View, click on View, and then check Mixer, and your mixer will return. And you go back to View, and your video preview screen is now returned. So this is a basic overview of the interface. I think you'll find it's pretty intuitive, and the more you work in it, the more familiar that you're going to get with it. Thanks for watching, and for more like this, come visit us on the web at joetutorials.com.